Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and my co-hosts are with me, Jamie Wojcik and Tim Morse.
Oh, I'm back. I can't wait.
Good to have you back.
I'm going to start yelling at Tim again. I missed it last week.
I did not miss that part at all.
Well, unlike the rest of our viewers, it sucks.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Jamie. Last week, it was me and Tim. We had one of the most fiercest battles in Do You Know? And if you want to know who won, just then go back and watch it from last week. But today, it is back to the normal, the three, me, Jamie, and Tim. And Tim's saying he's going to win this week, but let's hope that it's wrong.
No, I'm never wrong, which is why I always win. Do you know?
Okay, first off, that's a complete lie. I've caught you in many of wrongs of the wrongs.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Yeah. So, anyways, Sonny.
Yeah, but we got a lot going on. We got some hot news today. We got our topic of the week, which is who is your most hated character in comics and why. We will finally be.
I'm not even in comics.
Maybe one day we'll put you in a comic.
Someday, hopefully.
And we will finally be reviewing the Avengers Defenders War today. But I will start us off with that hot news. We know DC has their hottie in Granny Goodness, but did you know Marvel has its hottie in Madam Web? But for the movie, she will not look like she's 120 years old. She will be played by Dakota Johnson. It's been announced, and it should be pretty interesting. I was really surprised to hear that Madam Web is getting a movie. I was like, Madam Web? But I guess when you hear about her story and how she was blind and how she had an illness that made her unable to walk, and I'm like, I guess it could be an interesting story, but I really still wonder how it's going to go with the Marvel universe, especially with the MCU. And what are you guys thinking about it?
I think that's a Sony exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, as far as it goes, because of the fact that we got the same thing with Craven coming out. And they're kind of making their own little universe. I didn't know we were getting 50 Shades of Webb for Sony. But as far as Dakota Johnson as a casting, I mean, it depends on what they do with her. Like this could be like the prelude to it, and then kind of lead into her becoming old Dakota Johnson, and just a lot of CGI and prosthetics. But yeah. I mean, they're really taking the Spider-Man culture and their verse as it is, and trying to do something with it for the first time since I don't know ever.
Every character's pretty much getting their own movies.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, Rhino was in for 5 seconds. We're gonna give Paul Giamatti his Rhino movie.
Let's get a different Rhino. Let's get a very different.
I'm okay with it. I want to see how this happened. It's gonna be Jim Carrey coming out of the Rhino from Ace Ventura. That's how he was. That's how he was born. But no, like I said, it's cool to see. I am gonna go with the fact if they start that whole Andrew Garfield rumor about him being like Eddie Brock's, Venom's, Sony's Spider-Man again, like they've been talking about. I think that's a great idea. Now you have your Spider-Verse in Sony World, and you can leave Tom Holland to Disney World.
Yeah. And one thing I did forget to send it to you guys, I just found out right before we started the show, is that it was saying breaking news that Russell Crowe has signed a deal that he's going to be in the Kraven the Hunter movie.
Yeah. So I mean, with Dakota Johnson as Madam Web, that doesn't bother me. Character appearance or whatever, as long as she's got the outfit in the more than too long dress part of it or whatever that covers her feet. But no, this Jamie, this seems to me like going off of what you said, it seems to me like they are finally utilizing in the proper way the Spider-Verse. But I think with Madam Web, this may help tie in events that took place in No Way Home and whatever's going on in Into the Spider-Verse. So maybe it'll bring all of that stuff together. That could be the doorway that brings Miles Morales into Sony's Spider-Verse or whatever the case may be.
Well, Tim, I gotta say, first off, those are some great detective skills.
Thank you.
Do you know who doesn't have detective skills? Robert Pattinson. Dude, I gotta talk about this because it's bothering me.
Tell us why he feels like an idiot, Jamie. Tell us why.
Oh my God. The guy went on Insider Live and basically told everybody that he's like, when I did Batman, I didn't realize that he was the world's greatest detective. So I didn't act like that throughout the whole movie. I'm sorry. Does the fact of Detective Comics not ring a bell when you're doing your research on Batman?
No.
Does him being, I don't know, a detective figuring out cases for most of his stories not trigger anything? Did you go into it being like, we just need you to look dark, brooding, upset playboy billionaire, and just look sad the entire time?
He was busy. He was too busy hanging out and having polite conversation with Zoe Kravitz on the hood of the new Batmobile.
These are statements that could be true. I'm just I
drinking too much blood.
He's sparkling at this point. Like Batman is seriously sparkling with oh my god. Guys, what do you think? Because I'm losing brain cells listening to myself talk about this. Is that bad?
Career is beyond Twilight. Watch Lighthouse and that'll change your mind. You'll forget all about it.
Oh no, I'm totally okay with his indie work. I'm just saying in general, like at this point, I'm gonna make fun of him for it now because of the fact that was the dumbest thing you could ever say ever as people are Batman fans. I'm literally wearing like a Red Hood Batman family thing, and it like you can't do that. Like how do you study for a role and not know who you're playing?
That's very true, and that's a valid point. However, with that being said, I don't think half of these actors go into playing whatever superhero role knowing every bit, though the detective part is like 50% of who Batman is. So that's something that should be known. But from what I've heard about early screenings of the movie and things like that, this movie is going to be explosive. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be unlike any Batman movie we've ever seen before.
Because he's not going to be a detective. He's going to be punching people.
But the funny thing is it's a detective movie. Like the Riddler's in there doing all these things and all that stuff. And that's what it's all supposed to be. So maybe him not knowing that Batman was a detective gave him the ability to play as an inexperienced detective during the course of the movie. That would be cool.
We'll see. It makes me almost think like, was his research more just watching the older movies? Like, okay, I see him kind of fight a lot and not reading, like you said, Jamie, how you said, Detective Comics.
Yeah.
All you have to do is what's first appearance or anything like that.
That for which Comics. DC Detective is named after.
Yeah, why is DC called DC? Detective Comics.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at it, like the Keaton films, Batman did not do a whole lot of detective work. And with Val Kilmer, I think there was a little more, but it was coincidental detective work, and George Clooney was a detective through the whole movie.
We were trying to detect where Batman was.
That's why it was such a good movie to watch, and it should have been an Oscar winner, but it wasn't.
And Robin was Nightwing.
Exactly. Yeah, and with Christian Bale's Batman, there was more detective work in there, but it was still a beat 'em up movie. So
yeah, but at least with all these movies, they have one thing in common. There's still some sort of a detective work frame.
Very true.
There. But none of them came out and said, I didn't know he was a detective.
Except for Pattinson.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, and he's the world's greatest detective. No, that's not how it works.
Robert, I'm trying to defend you, buddy, but it's not working.
Failing horribly.
Yeah, it was like I said, I would defend it before. Like I said, I hope his performance is good, but like I said, that was not the best thing to say.
No,
especially on like one of the world's like biggest platforms with Insider.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, looking towards the future, it only comes out like next month?
That's right, next month.
So the one thing I do want to say is in like
77 years?
77 years, there's going to be another problem. So Tim?
Yeah, and that would be Spider-Man in 2099 leading a revolution in a new series celebrating the 30th anniversary of Marvel's 2099 line. So this is direct from the Marvel website. And it says, beginning in May, Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha #1, that's like a super oxymoron, is an all-new limited series, and it'll be written by Steve Orlando, and artwork is going to be done by Paul Fry, David Watcher, Marco Castillo, Z. Carlos, and a slew of other people. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to kick off when a celestial falls to Earth. Eternals, anyone? Bringing a glimmer of hope to a broken world, sensing a chance for real change, Spider-Man 2099 will undertake a journey that will bring him into contact with all corners of the Marvel universe, from Asgard to mutant kind. Now, it goes further to say that each issue will shift focus to a new character or team, with Spider-Man 2099 being the central figure and debuting exciting new characters along the way, such as Winter Soldier 2099, a new version of Loki for 2099, and new members of X-Men from 2099. So yeah, that is super exciting. That's going on my pull list. Jamie, I think you even said that when it was put to us by Sonny in the chat. This is something that I'm going to read. I've always loved Miguel O'Hara as Spider-Man. I enjoyed the 2099 line. I loved him in Shattered Dimensions, the video game that he debuted in when he came to video game platforms. But anyways, this is something I'm super excited about. This is going on my pull list. I'm gonna read the whole thing.
Well, with this issue coming out, is this just like almost like an anthology, like 80-page giant kind of thing, or is
no? I don't think so.
Is it ongoing? Because with all those artists that you had said were part of it, I would think it'd be something like an 80-page for the 30th anniversary.
It doesn't say as far as like how big the issue itself is going to be, but it's a limited series. So I'm
so 6 issues probably, or 12.
Yeah, 6 to 12 somewhere.
It'll be on my list.
But all of the people that are coming in there are artists from throughout Marvel Comics, including those that were mentioned. Exodus number 2 also comes in May. Let's see here, and then and they got the cover here, and it's got Ghost Rider 2099 and Spider-Man 2099 going against each other, and it looks amazing.
And the only reason I had asked that was because before, I think this was like 2.5-3 years ago, they had a 2099 kind of like line come out where it was Ghost Rider, Venom, Thor, I think was one of them, and there's one more I can't remember, but they had a couple 2099 one shots.
Oh, okay. Like X Nation and stuff like that.
Sort of, but it was just like Venom in 2099. It was telling them like the symbiote took over. The skeleton's still underneath of Eddie Brock because they never wanted to separate them, kind of thing. And then Ghost Rider, I forget which one it was, but it's like the spirit of vengeance kept rolling on, and they kept to find a new rider for the bike and all this other stuff. I think Deadpool was one of them. That's what it was.
I have heard there's a version of Deadpool in 2099, but I have not seen what he looks like yet.
It's funny.
Yeah, I would expect it to be. Yeah, I look forward to checking it out. And May 4th is the date it's set to come out. Number 1.
Yep, that's right.
I do look forward to seeing, especially how they're going to do the Winter Soldier and Loki, their 2099 version. So it's cool to see how the characters look.
Like the way it looked, you were going to have Alpha 1 week and then 2 other comics related to this. I do believe Exodus Alpha number 1, and then Exodus itself would be the next week or the week after, and then one more book related to this series is going to be out at the end of May too. So 3 issues. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, at least Tim can count. Speaking of counting,
yeah,
that's debatable.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of counting, I'm up to date on that X-Men 97 series, and I'm waiting for it. But they finally have released the number of episodes that are set to come out in the first season of it returning. It's set to come out. Jamie's left the show now. Just fixing.
Welcome back.
Just fixing a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, sorry about that. It kind of went blurry for a minute. I was like, "What's going on?"
I'm watching him and listening to Sonny at the same. I'm like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, so 2 of the creators of the X-Men, the original X-Men animated series, Eric and Julia Lewald, and director Larry Houston, have said that the first season of X-Men 97 will consist of 10 episodes, and so far it's set to come out in mid-2023.
That's still
I'm
good.
really, excited for it. Yeah, I was hoping, like, don't let it be like December 2023. So with it being, around the summer, I'm excited. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
this is one I'm gonna watch when it comes out.
Ooh, Sonny's actually gonna pull an audible on this one and be like, "Hey, man, like."
It hit midnight. I watched it.
Did they say if they were going to do it weekly or dump them all at once? Because I think the formula they're sticking with is weekly releases.
You know what they haven't said, but I think it's gonna. That's my
Okay.
Yeah,
prediction.
usually with Disney, it's let's drop the first. If it's a six kind of episode thing, let's drop the first 2, and then the other ones, if it's more than 6, let's drop the first 3, and then the rest of them. We'll go weekly.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited for it.
Me too. And they said they got a huge budget for this, so I'm glad with that. Like they said, they really want to bring back. They're really trying to get everybody who worked on the original show. Like I said, Wolverine, Mr. Sinister, Beast, Rogue. They're trying to get all the original.
I just want to hear I want to hear the music again. That's it.
Well, wasn't the guy that did the voice for Wolverine the one that passed away last week?
So he was the voice of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine when he would dub it. So it was the Brazilian voice actor or the Portuguese voice actor passed away. So Kel Dodd, who did the 1990s version of the X-Men animated series, he is still alive and well and doing this series.
Okay.
And kicking.
Good deal.
Yeah.
He's gonna be doing a lot of sneak and then it'll be good.
Yeah. Kicking, fighting, looking at pictures of Jean on the bed.
Yeah, rubbing it.
Get one picture, yes.
The meme everywhere.
They made a figure of that.
I know.
Figure, yes.
That's the only X-Men figure I want to buy.
Oh my god.
I may have to beat you to that one, yeah. Both our birthdays are coming up.
Yes.
And for anybody watching, mine and Jamie's birthdays are in April.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mic cut out. So
our birthdays are in April.
That just cut out again. Jeez, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Well, we're about to be cutting out some co-hosts here pretty soon.
Well, things are looking dark, but Jamie, take us to where things are looking even darker. A crisis.
Oh, guys, Nostradamus is back with another prediction. So I said that we were going to be getting another reboot for DC because that's how it was looking, especially when they started teetering with the death of the Justice League. Well, come to find out, we're getting another Crisis, which usually reboots the whole DC universe. This one stemming off Dark Crisis. This is going to come after the fact of the death of the Justice League. We do, however, have issue 0 of Dark Crisis that's going to be premiering on Free Comic Book Day this year. So that'd be May 7th.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. And I did that top of my head. Look at me. So
I got it in my notes.
I don't need notes. It's all. What was I gonna say? No,
I need notes.
Yeah, we know you need help. But no, with what it's pertaining to is they're going back to Wolfman and Perez time, where it was Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they got to destroy Earth Zero, basically. That was the synopsis that I got. There's not much going into it. They were trying to keep it kind of like, tongue in cheek on this, unlike most DC stories where they're like, here's everything, and you're going to get 12 issues of it.
Yeah. Now you don't have a reason to buy it because you already know.
Yeah. With this, they're just saying, hey, something's happening. We need to get rid of Earth Zero. Buy our book. Yeah. And that's, I feel like that's a lot better because there's so much going on right now without continuity. It's like, why? Wonder Woman basically became a new god, and we haven't heard a thing from her since. Did you guys even know she was a new god? Because
I had no idea.
And they haven't said anything else since. That's why we have Hippolyta as the Wonder Woman in the Justice League book, in the current run, which Bendis is doing, and I hope he goes away with the Dark Crisis as well. But what do you guys think? I mean, are you ready for another reboot? I mean, Marvel reboots every 60 days, just like a normal computer. So,
Sonny, go right ahead.
I think it'd be good.
I
always like the Crisis. I would like to check them out. It's just big events. I know Tim, you're the biggest was a Final Crisis fan.
My favorite series ever.
But yes. Yeah, Dark Crisis. I think who knows? Maybe that'll be the one I'll have to check out.
If Grant Morrison's writing it, then I'm good to go.
No, if Grant Morrison's writing anything, I'm never reading it. I'm just saying that right now. He ruined Green Lantern for me. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But as we're going, sorry.
But Dark, I was almost going to say Dark Ages, but Dark Crisis, I may have to check it out. It's a huge event. It'd be nice if maybe that'll be the next one we all go over monthly or something. But it's huge. I think it's going to be a event we have to talk about.
So so it makes sense that they're doing a reboot. Jamie, you called this a while ago. And with all DC titles sales in the crapper, with the exception of Batman titles, Superman, Son of Kal-El didn't even break the top 50 for January, I believe. It makes
and that's
sense.
Tom Taylor.
Yeah, and with Discovery purchasing the Warner Media section, which includes DC, it doesn't surprise me that a company-wide reboot for the characters is on its way. So we'll see what happens, but I have zero faith in it, because I mean, when they rebooted the DC line with New 52, they got some things right, they got some things wrong, and fans were really split and divided. It was a great idea, but executed poorly.
Just like everything else that everyone's ever done. Everyone's split.
Exactly.
But I think in this case, they're trying to they're trying to right the wrongs.
Well, I hope so. I really do. And with characters that they have, like the new Wonder Woman and the new Superman, I see the direction that they were trying to go, but they got a lot of pushback from comic book fans, and rightly so, to a point. But getting rid of the legacy characters isn't going to do anything. We all know they're going to come back. Death in comics is not final. But like with the jump with the new Batman moving to New York City, I think that's a great idea. And with Dark Crisis, like you said, Jamie, if they right the wrongs and they do it correctly, this has the potential to be life-changing for the DC universe, and hopefully breathe new life into old titles, or whatever they do, restart everything again. It doesn't matter. They just need to do it right. That's right. My only thing.
Well, Tim, tell us about some people who are not doing things so right.
So let's go ahead and talk about this. Union members' credits are removed from Shadowline Comics, and that's with Image. That's Jim Valentino's. Now, I'm going to read a little bit from Jamie's favorite website, Bleeding Cool, and this is written by Rich Johnson yet again. So most Image Comics books, and this is from the article, most Image Comics books list the entirety of Image Comics staff in the credits. Not all. The Spawn books just list the McFarlane Studios people involved, but most do, from Image Central, Top Cow, Skybound, etc., etc. And it used to be like that with Shadowline, but Shadowline, which again is run by Jim Valentino's, and the current series he has going is Hell Cop. Some people have been pulled from the credits list on Hell Cop, and those people that were pulled just so happen to be unionized members in Image Comics. So yeah, let's see here. Who are the people that were removed? The names that were removed were Leanna Conter, an accounting analyst, Maria Ezek, talent liaison, Chloe Ramos, bookmarket and library sales, Emilio Batista, digital sales coordinator, and several other people, ranging from specialty sales to marketing, traffic, content, a senior production artist, and a regular production artist. Guys, this is ridiculous. It's the same thing. You're penalizing and you're punishing people for unionizing and gaining a singular voice to protect themselves from exactly things like this. And Jim Valentino, I had a lot of respect for you up until I read that article. Shadowhawk was one of my favorite titles when Image debuted. Your run on Guardians of the Galaxy was really awesome, but with things like this and what you're doing there, that makes me very disappointed, and it makes me instantly not a fan, because you're pulling names from people that have since unionized and now have a singular voice, again, like I said, to protect themselves from this kind of treatment. This shouldn't happen. This doesn't need to happen. And yeah, it's wrong on so many levels.
Well, did you see the picture? Oh, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Did you see the picture showing the comparison with, like, here's how it originally looked?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Here it is, and they took you see the young lady's name was taken off.
Yep, you can see it highlighted in red.
Changed it, yeah.
And down on the bottom in the credits bar, usually where you find the copyright date, first printing, second printing, etc., all of those names have been removed. So like half the credits bar has been removed.
Yeah, he said it is horrible.
Yeah, that's bad form.
Well, here's the thing. First off, all right, what I gotta say is, did anyone come out yet and say why they took the names off?
Not
as any
yet.
confirmation.
No.
Okay.
Well, there is confirmation that it's been done.
No, it's been done. That's fine. We established that. But have they come out with a public announcement of saying why it was done?
As of yet, no. When the article was released, neither Jim Valentino or anybody at Shadowline or anybody at Image Comics had responded for comment yet.
Okay. My problem is that we don't have a solidified source of what happened. Now, with that, I can't sit there and say with Valentino that I've lost respect for him, because it might have been out of his hands, and we don't know that. We don't know if there's someone that was a little bit more above him. Maybe could have said, hey, we need to do this. This is the move we need to make. Whether it was his decision or not, what happened was wrong. I'm not going to discredit the man for the work he's done. I'm not going to discredit him for Shadowhawk and Guardians of the Galaxy. You lost maybe some respect for me if you did do that. But until we know for sure, I can't sit here and bash a guy that we don't know if it was in his hands or if it was in somebody else's and he just had to do his job. Because there is a lot of times in life where you might not want to make the decision, but you still have to do your job and get a paycheck and feed your family.
Well, that is fair, and with all respect, that is a valid opinion. However, Valentino is a co-founder and co-owner and sits on the board for Image Comics and owns Shadowline, so he knew exactly what was happening, and he knew and either did nothing or couldn't do anything. Either way, if he couldn't do anything, then my initial comments will be retracted. But if he knew and chose not to do anything, or if he was part of, and we're going into speculation here.
Yeah.
But if he had a hand in their removal, which he knew about it because he owned Shadowline. Exactly. Then we're going to have a very different conversation.
Yeah, no, and that's perfectly fine. But it comes down to the point of, again, the word co is in there.
Right.
Just because you're co-owner or something doesn't mean things are going to go your way.
That's very true.
We do have a lot of say, though. Like you said, it doesn't mean 100%, but a lot of say, definitely. Like,
but if you have 51% of the company and someone has 49, I'm sorry, 51% is going to win.
Well, if I'm not mistaken,
we already fired you, Tim. We already had this discussion in our chat.
No, not me. But I'm going to check real quick while you two continue to discuss who the current CEO of Image is. If I'm not mistaken, it's Eric Larson right at the moment.
Yeah. Well, while you look into that, we're accusing people of stuff.
What?
Sonny, what about our one shot? They could, defend themselves.
Right. We're accusing people of stuff. Sonny, what's going on with the DC artist is being accused of certain things?
Yes. DC artist Jolie Jones is being accused of plagiarism, copying Pepe Larraz's version of some X-Men characters.
Plagiarism's illegal, guys. In print, it's libel. Yeah.
So what somebody pointed out on Twitter that Jones's version, she's working on the trial of the Amazons, and there's comparisons of Wonder Woman next to X-Men's Polaris, which look very, very similar the way they're both coming out, and also another picture of Wonder Girl next to X-Men's Jean Grey. And so to me, it does look very similar. I know sometimes some of those characters maybe just happen to look the same, but both of those, it doesn't look too good. And Jolie Jones is most known for working on Lady Killer, and literally just like a week or two ago, I remember I was telling you guys, hey, what are some independent comic companies I should check out? And then we did the topic of the week. And one of the books I found, I'm like, let me start to try to read some more stuff, was Lady Killer. And then it happens to say that Jones is most known for Lady Killer.
Right.
But plagiarism, not cool. If it is true, that's bad. And definitely going to ruin her career if she gets in trouble for it. And Did you see the pictures? What did you guys think? Did you think it looked the same?
I'm looking
Or
at them
just
right
bad luck?
now.
Well,
And
go ahead, Tim. You take this. I gotta look something up anyways.
well, I'm looking at the Polaris one and the Wonder Girl one, and by God, that is pretty darn close. If it wasn't outright traced, then it was looked at and copied. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not an artist. I wish I could be, but I'm not. But from what I'm looking at, that does, yeah, let me look right here. That
Everything, the bone
that
structure
looks,
kind of looks the same. The nose, everything.
the chin and
Yeah, how
everything
it's
on Wonder Girl versus Polaris,
the
they
way their
look
hands are. Everything. Yeah.
exactly the same. Let's take a look here. So there's Marvel Girl, and
Typical DC copying Marvel.
well, subtle things are changed. Subtle things are changed, but the stance and all that stuff is the same. And with Polaris, yeah, but they're kind of mirror imaged flipped for Wonder Girl and Polaris. But subtle things are different, so it's not outright. Well, I don't know, man. I don't
Okay.
know.
So
The
I'm gonna go
Wonder
into
Girl
this,
and Polaris one is like 98% the same.
and I get that, and I kind of see the similarities too. Whether it is or whether it isn't, I can't sit here and say because we're not, Jones. Only Jones knows at this point what happened and if they're tracing it or not.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm going to bring up is that there was another problem a few years ago with DC has this line where they have A covers and B covers. It isn't a big variant market like Marvel does where you have A through double Z, like a variance. You have A and B, and then if they have a special 1 of 25 or 1 of 50, they throw it out there. Well, I believe his name, for Francisco Matina, who is ungodly amazing with his cover art, got in trouble because it was too close, like paying homage to certain memorable comic covers. He was doing B variants as them, but it was taking up the whole cover, which is called a virgin variant, where it's just the words at the bottom, and then the whole page is art. I think it was a Batman or it was a Green Lantern issue that was so close to the original, but more detailed that people were saying he traced the original, made it his own, and then just did it over the cover. There's a problem with that though. If you're going to do that and you're using that character as like a reference, even though I know we're kind of on the same thing as tracing, basically tracing the character, don't you think a homage would kind of go with that? There's a lot of problems with tracing now. I've seen more than ever, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because even if you get close, like if you're trying to like say, okay, I like Polaris, I like the way that she's shaped, for instance, that could be a Wonder Woman. What if you could just draw that to match it and then add different textures?
An homage is different than outright copying, though. Like an homage is the artist's representation of.
But my point is, they were saying that he was tracing the original, and then going over it.
Well, see, that's different though.
Which is the same case in this aspect. But what if? Who's to say that? Because Jones could have been like, Polaris looks a lot like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Right. To me, for instance, I like the structure. Jones can just draw that to make it look that way and just add different hair, different texture.
That's very true.
I kind of think that's what happened in my opinion.
You know what I mean? And then because you can't, a lot of people don't understand that you take, like ideas from inspiration. There you go. That's the word. I couldn't think of it. You take inspiration from things you've seen. And if like, for me, for instance, if I'm looking at like Batman, I'm going to take the one that I know best and draw my inspiration from there. I can't draw. I'm a subpar stick figure artist. Don't at me. But my point is that literally it's the same thing. If someone thinks a character looks like another character, but they like the way their body's structured, they're going to pull that and they're going to use it.
Well,
but there's a difference between tracing, but if you could do it yourself, it's not technically tracing when you can draw it identically.
Inspiration is one thing, though. In my opinion, from what I saw, the way it looks to me now, I wasn't there, but this is just my opinion. This is my speculation. The way it looks like to me, 90% of the cover is her own. However, the two characters that are copied, for lack of a better term, off of Marvel Girl and Polaris,
right?
Stance, structure, with the exception of subtle differences, is exactly the same. So barring looking to see when the X-Men cover came out versus when this came out, will tell you if she sat there and just looked at them and drew exactly, or just outright took the pictures and copied. Because Sonny, like you said, on Wonder Woman and stuff like that, the bone structure for her versus Polaris is exactly the same, and it looks like it was just mirror imaged.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, and if you're taking inspiration from somebody, then especially just those two characters and poses. Now, poses can't be copyrighted and stuff like that, but artistic work can be. And if you're taking inspiration, then it should be noted on the cover itself, inspired by whoever, like with homage covers and things like that. But outright taking from one and putting it on there and claiming it as your own, that's a little shady.
We will see. We'll see. Maybe we'll have some more updates on this story later on in future episodes, but we hope that that's not true. I mean, like I said, sometimes pictures just happen to look alike.
People have gotten fired for less. So
yeah, Tim.
Do you not remember Sonny telling you that I have half of the stake in the company?
No, Sonny was drunk on life.
That was in our chats.
And I am investing that in real estate mutual funds.
Never happened. My lawyers already approved it. We're good.
I've already spoken to your lawyers separately. We're on the same page.
First off, you can't afford my lawyers.
Sonny, do you mind being my representation now? I'll pay you $1.
Oh, I'm getting all 100% back. This is awesome.
Trust me, I'm a good lawyer. I can catch bricks coming at me even if I'm not looking at them.
They call me Matt Kurdock.
That's amazing.
Even better, Sonny Kruger, and I can see, but I can't jump off buildings, and
yet I still walk into things.
And I would definitely. I would definitely
you
lose.
Could jump off buildings if you wanted to,
just not really high ones.
Yeah,
or like curbs,
like dog houses or sheds or a really low hanging barn.
Those I could do really good. Really cool with the cool, the superhero pose and superhero landing, all that.
Oh my god!
But guys, our hot comic news is in for the week, and now we move on to On the Hunt. And I thought for this week I'll let you guys start us off. If there's anything you're on the hunt for that you want, that you're craving to get.
Yeah, well, I'm still working on the whole new 52 line, which is great. I already kind of brought up them to do the Marvel Ultimates kind of thing. But I'm thinking I want to start really getting back into Justice Society of America and starting that run from not so much the beginning, but where Jeff Johns took over originally, and it kind of worked my way here. Because
is that with the Alex Ross covers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Though that run, I remember reading most of it, and it was amazing. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. I don't even have it in my collection anymore, but at some point it just gone. I definitely want that back. So I'll probably be looking at a couple of those. I don't know. Also, I was kind of looking into starting Transformers. So cartoon's not good, but the books are.
Is there any specific issues that are harder to get than others? You're like, okay.
Issue 2 for Transformers, I'm definitely gonna be paying a leg for. That one's the first appearance of Optimus Prime and Megatron. So I'll be definitely hurting right there.
Yeah.
As far as what I'm on the hunt for, in the Valiant line, I've got most of Shadow Man, but I'm missing issue 1, issue 2, and then a couple in the back end.
And then the rest of the series.
Oh no, I've got the majority of the series, and I've read them, but I'm looking out for those. And then there's this thing that Image did back in the day. It's the 1963 line where they did all their characters. You know what I'm talking about? They did all their characters or new characters in their version of the Marvel Age of Comics, and I've got 4 of those, and I want to get the last 1 or 2 so I can just read the whole thing.
Cool.
And then I'm always looking for the last 2 issues of Deathlock and fulfilling my dream of owning all X-Men comics.
Yeah, all right. And for me, I completed my hunt not too long ago. I got, before I've been talking about Timeless on this show, saying I'm on the hunt for it. We talked about it for a while, and finally I completed it. I got it in the mail, and I made sure to read it that night. Yeah, and I liked it. I say it was worth the hype, and I definitely suggest checking it out. Yeah,
you still need to find out his minutes.
Yes. Oh wait, that one still not for that version. But yeah, so
start putting $1 away a day.
Yeah, I'm still checking on eBay and seeing, the bids always start, $4, $5, and then the next day it's like, you sure? It's only $48 right now.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure.
It's gonna expire. It's $80. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But
you got 12 seconds to see if you want to put 50 cents on a $4,000 book.
Snipe it from somebody.
Yeah. You have done that to me. Well, maybe I'll get somebody else. I'll catch somebody and get a good deal.
Catch an eBayer.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I got you. Now watch me brag about it on the Codex podcast.
Yes.
It's gonna be like, man, we got a lot of hateful comments lately.
Just a lot. Why are they all towards Sonny?
Yeah.
This should be on Tim.
Yeah. But yeah, so my Timeless, my On the Hunt is complete. And now we go
eBay is the garden of speculation,
works.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So now with that mail call, the mail call leads us to Our Works. So like I said, I have a mail call of, like I said, some things I got from eBay. Like I said, the Timeless, On the Hunt is complete, some Punisher comics, and an old Ghost Rider comic book I got. So I think it did premiere today on YouTube, right, guys?
Yes, it is up on YouTube. You can find it at the Codex Podcast. Yeah, it was a good one. I watched it. It was Sonny. You had me laughing, as always.
Good.
I have not seen it yet, so
definitely make sure to check it out in the ending. It's a surprise ending. I make sure.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. In case you're not ready, this is a spoiler warning. So there's that, and then I got a mail call in, and then finally, one thing I celebrated this week is that my first one of my books is the first one of mine to reach 5,000 reads, and that is my story of Tied Up. So I'm glad I finally hit the 5,000 mark. Now it's only up from there. Let's start to reach some more numbers, hit some more numbers.
Let's hit that 10.
Yeah. Now it's on to 10 and to get some others to reach that 5,000 mark.
With your story, are people allowed to leave feedback?
Yep. Yeah. So feedback is good with Tied Up. One thing in the beginning was a lot of times I could tell people were kind of getting into it because of the name of Tied Up, and you'd see like, oh, it's been added to this list, and I'm like, they're kind of just attached to the name, but it's not a story like that. It's not like this kinky story. I mean, it's a Sonny Kruger story, so it's got some stuff.
So it's got like dragons, wizards, rope. He remade Saga, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god!
But it's more of a regular people's story. But it's been nice that lately more of the views have been genuinely people liking it for the story, and like I said, people have been commenting, and I like to see it like, oh, I hate this character, and I like this, and I thought this of the ending, and I like to get feedback, whether it be good or bad. And it's been positive, so I like to have people involved in the story and like to know that they're not just attached to the name anymore, that people are truly enjoying the story itself.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then that story of mine that I'm making into a show, a series about a series, we got one episode out.
Oh, that thing? We're still doing it?
Yeah, still doing that, and got it quite a lot of work ahead of me for it. But one thing I'm glad about is that this week is audition week number 1. Somebody called me during an audition the other day.
That wasn't me.
Well, I was trying to see if the Code Z Morning podcast can still make a freaking appearance. we give the guy 45 minutes worth of material. Use 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was the greatest Saturday night ever.
Oh my god, dude! Me and Tim were up laughing for like an hour and a half, and then Sonny uses, "Oh my god, I missed the birth of my unborn child. I missed the birth of my third cousin's baby boy," and that was it.
There you go. Don't forget, and then Tim did say we're gonna cut to commercial. Clean yourselves.
Yes,
I have a lot of material for future episodes.
Oh, dude, I'm waiting for the immortal egg to come out
somewhere in there.
Or in the what was it, the ostrich?
Plaid Man and his partner, the procrastinator.
Yeah.
All those. But yeah, so I've been working on my stuff, and then obviously Codex podcast stuff and Codex stuff from us. I'll let you guys take away what's been going on.
All right. Tim, you kind of want to give the background, some decoding panel stuff, and I'll get into more major.
Yeah. So decoding panels right now, we are in the midst of Punisher Circle of Blood, which is Sonny's favorite. Jamie, not so much, but one of the greatest times I had doing decoding panels series. Absolutely.
And
amazing.
you can tell because all of his audio when he gave it to me was low. Like he didn't want no one to hear it. Like he's and then
that was also
Frank Castle
the decoding panels I was working on that my neighbors banged on the wall, and I had to call you, Jamie, and let you listen to them bang on the wall.
They did.
Wow. But after
is that recorded
Punisher,
somewhere?
No.
I wish. I would so put that up on something.
I don't remember which issue it was. It might have been the first or the third issue, but
it was the first. It was the jail fight.
Okay,
with, was it Gregor?
Yeah, Gregorio.
Gregorio.
And Jigsaw and all that stuff. And I was loud. I was yelling and laughing and saying all kinds of stuff. Watch the episode, guys, and you'll see.
And then he's like, yeah. And then the next like 3 pages I had to edit where, and then Frank Castle on day 42. I was like, what happened?
But I heard the bam, bam, bam. Oh, man. And a bunch of college kids that live next door to me. Not that you college kids are bad, just the ones that live next door to me are, because they keep me up until 3 a.m.
and talk to them and just be like, look, watch the Codex podcast and shut up.
Yeah, there you go. This is why I'm yelling and screaming. It's not at my kids. It's not at anybody in there. It's at my computer screen. But anyways, after Punisher, we've got Deceased coming for you guys. I'm fast at work on that, and then we've got some other cool stuff coming out for decoding panels. Let's see here. We've got Breaking the Code episodes on their way.
Yes.
Two more that have been recorded, and that is 5 movies that set the standard and are comic events too big. That's a cool one.
Yes.
But beyond that, long list of comics to do for decoding panels. I think ones that are on the table to be worked on are the Worst X-Men Ever storyline and the Mephisto verses and Spider-Man 2099 #1. So that's what you can expect from decoding panels in the future.
Yeah, and Breaking the Code also, like he said, every Friday we're gonna have a new episode out. We're trying to get a little bit of a backlog so that way you guys still have stuff coming from us every week. This week we had a little bit of an incident. Boy here kind of messed up and left everything on his computer desktop, and stuff didn't save correctly because he had no more room left on it. And I didn't put to my external. So I've been working tirelessly to get everything back in order and out for you guys. All right, that's how much I work. I literally save it to the desktop, forget about it, go to bed for my 2 hours a night, and then get up and notice that I can't save anything. So
that's a surprise. When I looked, and I'm like,
the podcast was 25
minutes. That's
I'm
not
like, oh,
episode.
Why? And then so I redid everything. I rendered it, re-edited it. I'm like, what happened? What could have went wrong? So I did it, and I'm like, awesome. And then it gave me 12 minutes. Oh. And I was like, what? And then I looked, and it's like, I'm like, oh, there's an update for my Premiere Pro. I was like, I'll update it. It's like not enough space to update. And I look, and there's like my screen that's up currently is the screen that usually holds, because I got dual monitors, is usually the one that holds all my files. So I never look at what's on the screen. As soon as I brought down the screen for it, the whole screen was like Breaking the Code, Codex podcast, this file from here, one shots from A.L. Kaplan, and I'm like,
oh my god,
okay, I gotta start organizing this now. So yeah, guys, don't worry, everything's gonna be back out. I believe Punisher's gonna be out tomorrow. We got Breaking the Code Friday, and then this episode, if you're watching it right now, which was on Wednesday, will be out, today Saturday or today Sunday, depends on which one you guys watch. So everything will be up on Spotify this weekend too as well.
Don't turn the Super Bowl off and watch the Codex podcast.
Yeah.
Is the Super Bowl on this weekend?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no team in there I care about. So yeah.
Matthew Stafford, you Detroit boy.
He left Detroit, so I don't care about him.
To be a winner. But
whoa, wait a minute.
So make sure you see my mail call. Look what I'm wearing.
All right, so big news for us though. aside from everything that we already talked about, it is still technically big news. We are adding another member to the Code X family team. He or she, well, she, well, they, no, he, as you are, he will say it. He will be announced as soon as his very first review comes out here shortly. He's one of our good friends. He does a lot. He's done a lot of work and a lot of good work in a short amount of time for us already. With that being said, we are going to be revamping the show. As far as the name of the show, where you can find us everywhere, so that way you guys don't have to search 3 different areas. You guys can find us at one name on all of our sources, social medias, and then we're gonna be updating our logo so that way you guys can find us a little more. And there's gonna be potential more talk about merch and more fun stuff coming your way. Me and the Codex guys here are gonna sit down here pretty soon and just go through everything. Obviously, with scheduling with everybody here, with Sonny, with series about series, we're gonna make sure everything works out well, and we're gonna keep bringing you the same great quality. We got try to bring out better quality every week for you guys as well. So be on the lookout for that new revamp, fresh start, fresh Monday. Get ready, it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. So that is our works, and I'm excited for it, and all the big things ahead of us for the Codex family, and whatever we decide on when we have a final name that we can just tell everybody, but we will always remain something Codex.
Yes, it will. And guys, the name is just so you guys can find us. It will always be Codex, no matter what. Every time we talk, is gonna be like, hey, find us the Codex guys here at Breaking the Code under Codex kind of thing. Decoding Panels under Codex. The Codex podcast, Codex. Code to the X, bro. That's what I'm saying.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you don't hate it, but you know what? Speaking of hate, we move on to our topic of the week. And our topic of the week this week is, who is your most hated character in comics and why? As usual, Jamie has our top 3 picks for the comments. Top 3 comments.
Top 3 comments. No particular order. So we kind of alluded this at the beginning and the pre-show. Anthony, I'm gonna butcher your last name here, man. I do apologize. Insidious. He is picking Batman. He's gotten ridiculous over the years, beating characters that really shouldn't be beaten. His fans are the worst with the prep time. Forgetting the prep time goes both ways. I love that comment. I really deeply do. Eugene Anderson II said Century from Marvel. And then Dale Hobbs says Cyclops. And this is the best reasoning ever. He's a jerk. So thank you all everybody who commented, shared, subscribed for those answers. They were great. But getting into the top 3 or for my most hated character of all time, I pick Damian Wayne. I cannot stand that character. He is the most annoying character I've ever witnessed in any of Batman ever. I'd take anyone over him, but he has no real sense anymore in the comics. Like, he has his own line. He's not really with Batman as his son, and he's just like a moody teenager that doesn't get his way, and then instead of like throwing a fit, wants to stab you in the neck with a sword. There's a big difference.
Whatever.
I know, and he's dead. But oh my god, like, if every time he's on a panel, I'm just like, please just don't have a bubble. Like, I don't need to hear why you're upset with Bruce for the 478th time because his daddy doesn't trust him.
I wonder why.
Yeah, he don't trust you because you stab people in the neck with your pointy stick. Like, I'm sorry. And then you're like, I don't understand why I just can't kill people like Grandpa. And then Bruce is like, because you're not him, you're with me. And he's like, I want custody battles. And then it's a whole thing with Talia. So I'm tired of it.
He does sound bad.
Yeah, very. So Sonny, who you got, buddy?
Okay, so for me, I'm a huge X-Men fan, so I read all those. And it was easy for me to pick my most hated character is the X-Men's enemy, one of their enemies, Cameron Hodge. Now, Cameron Hodge has been an enemy for a long time. Yeah, I read X-Factor, X-Men, everything. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he was a friend of Archangel, Angel, Archangel, whatever you want to call him. And they even said, "Oh, we grew up together." And he's like, "I was just jealous of you because you got everything. You had these wings, and people liked you." So he stayed his friend for a while, long time, and then had, he basically was with X Factor just to turn on them and make them look bad. Had Archangel's wings clipped, and then if you see, like, there's been many things. He's fought X-Men many times, the New Mutants, X Factor, yeah, all of them. And then too, he made a deal with Niester. I mean, I'm sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but a demon from hell, basically, that he wouldn't die. So here we go. We got this jerk who can't die, and he's battling them. He kills Archangel's girlfriend, like I said, because just, I hated you, had everything. And then constantly, and then even had the whole extinction agenda. Really made him take the top of my list was extinction agenda. I'm like, okay, now I'm just starting to get really sick of this guy. I know he's got his powers, and he's, just because before even Archangel cut his head off, not in extinction agenda, his head was cut off before, but like I said, he can't die because he made the deal with Niester. So you got this annoying guy who hates mutants, and he's just can't die, and then he's just being a jerk, and then he even killed a character that I love named Warlock, and Warlock was gone from the comics for a very long time, all because of that idiot Cameron Hodge. And he is my most hated character in all of comics.
My most hated character in all of comic book history appeared and died in the same issue, and just the fact that this character was created is enough for me to hate him with all of my being.
Is he a Liefeld creation?
Yes.
And I know where we're going.
It is
tiny feet.
It is Hassan Hussein, who appeared on the flip side of Youngblood #1.
Yep.
God almighty, that is the most ridiculous character ever made. His death infuriated me. His appearance infuriated me. The fact that he was made for that issue blows my mind. And
it's like, I know you, Tim.
You did a longer review on that, right? Before, Tim?
What's that?
You did like a longer review in the past, because I remember.
Yes.
Let me give you the short version of that. So yeah, I did a review. I think, Jamie, you and I talked about this on a previous episode.
Yeah, go back and watch it so we don't have to listen to Tim talk about it.
The short version is I worked for a company called Stash My Comics. They're still around. Great comic book database. But I did a review for Youngblood #1 for our back issue Into the Future segment. And I didn't like it then. I still don't like it now. And I put a tweet out and tagged good old happy, jolly Rob Liefeld in that said tweet. And we proceeded to have a Twitter war for the rest of the day, where he tried to call me
real
names.
fast. I thought we weren't going to talk bad about Liefeld because he's on our list to do a one-shot with.
That is also true. That's yours,
Tim,
Jamie.
stop.
You can do that.
Stop. We need to send him a letter. Like, if you want to be treated badly and be made fun of, and
we got the guy for you.
We're going to have you on a one shot.
Yeah, and Tim is going to be doing it.
I don't hate him as a person.
Why can't you draw feet?
And why can't you draw him from the side?
As a person, he's not that bad of a dude. I don't know him, so I can't judge totally. But as a
you can. You have
specific characters, Hassan Hussein. Why, man?
Ask him about this. Saddam Hussein.
That's our one shot right there.
Yeah.
Why Saddam Hussein?
In all of your career, from cover to cover, from character creation to where you are now, why in the world did you create Hassan Hussein?
And go.
That'll be the quickest one shot we ever have.
Yeah, so looking forward to that one shot, Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, I am too. Oh my god. Oh, real fast, I forgot to mention one thing. And from our artworks, I have a Twitter.
Finally.
And you guys never you didn't add me, Sonny. You didn't let me follow you. Why?
Oh, then I haven't checked it in a while. When did you make it?
Sonny's busy doing
2 days ago.
Oh, yes, you haven't been on there in 2 days.
we run a comic company. Like, don't worry, Tim's got it.
Yeah, so
never mind. It's okay.
We'll have to follow each other. I will follow. Yeah, that's one thing with me. I have to tell myself, I'm like, you need to get on social media. You need to
You're
do
not
posting
missing
things
anything.
like that.
Right.
I have to push myself for that. See, the Codex
Well,
podcast always has me excited, and I'm always having a good time doing this. But going on social media to be like to do posts and stuff, I have to push myself. So I will push myself to go on Twitter and follow you. And
you don't even have to follow me. I had to ask for a request for it to be okay to follow you. I just gonna approve it.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize it.
You have everything set to like ultra private, like you're Hassam Hussein or something like that. Like,
we'll get back with you, Mr. Wojcik.
Well, I'm gonna have to fix that.
Sonny Kruger will or will not follow you back.
Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh man, featuring the return of Saddam Hussein.
Oh my god.
With even smaller feet.
Yeah. No feet. He's legless.
Moving
Dots
on.
is his feet.
Oh.
Okay, guys. But with all that laughing, do you know?
Yes.
It is time for Do You Know?
No, I don't know who Saddam Hussein is. I need to find out more. Can we please pull the episode?
Do you know the first appearance of Hassan Hussein?
Youngblood's number uno.
You fail.
How dare me?
Who's going first today?
You're first.
Tim, it is you going first. It's him, then Jamie, then me.
Okay. All right. So after my mighty victory last week,
he's not gonna live this down.
Such a diva.
Yeah.
What the
you see him sparkling
Sonny?
Like Robert Pattinson over there?
So, with that being said, all of my questions today revolve around characters and or events that took place in what we will be reviewing later. So
I lost.
With that being said, do you
Saddam
know?
Hussein.
No.
Yes.
Do you
That's the answer every question you ask.
The first appearance of Doctor Strange?
Jamie, I'll let you take it.
Wait, year or
issue number and title?
Oh God, Marvel Premiere 7, 1963. Ow.
Doctor Strange, his first appearance is in Strange Tales 110.
Sonny, you are correct. Jamie, you did have the year right. So it is Strange Tales number 110, came out July 1963, and that is the first appearance of Stephen Strange, who becomes Doctor Strange.
I did know the year, that's why I said it. I just didn't know the issue. If this was what year did he premiere, I would have had that.
God.
Like, because I was actually on the market to buy it at one point, because it was
really?
Like they had it, they had it on eBay for it was I don't do the whole auction thing. I do the buy it now or best offer. And like they had it for like, one guy was selling it. I don't think he knew what he had, because he was selling it for like $55.
I will take that, please.
Yeah, and I was about to, and I was like, do I really want Doctor Strange? And I went to sleep and it was gone.
Oh my God.
So, but okay.
All right, Jamie, what do you got?
All right, so there have been a cavalcade of members of the Defenders over the years. Now, I'm not going to make you guys suffer an issue number, but do you know that Black Cat was once a member of the Defenders? In what volume of the Defenders was she in?
Volume 2.
I'll say volume 2 as well.
Both of you are incorrect. It is actually volume 4. That has, I'm trying to remember everybody that was in it, because it was a weird bunch. It wasn't like the original. The only person that was original from it was Silver Surfer.
Wow.
Well, if we plussed our numbers, it would have equaled 4, because 2.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if I don't get the year, you guys don't get to add.
So none for us.
Yeah.
Half point, Sonny. Half point.
But we were saying real quick. It was Black Cat, Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it was Silver Surfer, and then it was I'm gonna look it up real fast because it's gonna bother me. So
okay.
Wait, before you go on your question, before you think I'm cheating, I just want to look this up real fast.
No problem.
I don't want you guys thinking that I'm like, oh, Jamie's cheating right now. I'll edit this part out.
He's looking up. What's his name? Hassan.
Yeah.
Hussein? What is it?
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Let me see.
Wait, Tim, real quick. Was it Saddam Hussein or who? What's the name?
The character that Hassan Hussein is based off of is the notorious dictator Saddam Hussein.
That guy from South Park, yeah.
Yes. Satan's lover. But God. Okay. So yeah.
Hassan Hussein.
Hassan Hussein. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole book is ridiculous. And I've talked about this before. It didn't need to be.
I found it. He just froze, so that's a good starting point. It did have a few of the same members. It had the actual originals, but the volume 4 consists of Doctor Strange, Namor, Silver Surfer, Hulk, Red She-Hulk, Iron Fist, Black Cat, and Ant-Man.
So a good portion of the original lineup.
Yeah, but it was like, it was weird to me to see like Red She-Hulk and Ant-Man as a defender.
All right, guys. Well, for my question, in our comic news, our hot news, we talked about Madam Webb. What is Madam Webb's actual name? Before she became Madam Webb, was her regular person name?
Dakota Johnson.
Was it, Jamie? I didn't hear.
Oh, I said Webb Webbington. I was joking. I don't know that one. I don't know much about Madam Web, so I can't really.
Well, guys, the answer is Cassandra Webb.
Close.
Webb with 2 B's.
Oh, let's throw everybody off now, shall we?
Okay, so there you go. Madam Webb was.
This is going
Cassandra
well
Webb.
for everybody. I'm just saying right now.
Sonny's winning.
I came back and Sonny's winning again. Like this is my.
Don't jinx it, man. Come on, you're my good luck charm.
I'm gonna keep saying it till I win.
Okay, so question number 2. We all know and love Mantis from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. However, she did not appear in any Guardians books until way later. So going back to her first appearance, what was the first appearance of Mantis?
Dear baby Jesus. Oh, every time we do a book review, I'm looking up first appearances of every character that's in there. Because I can do the Green Lantern ones, I can't do the rest.
Any ideas?
First appearance, I would say
Defenders number 6.
I'm gonna go with Avengers 23.
Jamie, you got the title right, but Mantis's first appearance is the Avengers number 112. So 3 issues before we started the storyline we're about to review, and that came out June 1973. She looks very different in the comic books than she does on film.
I mean, if we were doing half points, I'd be winning.
That's very true.
But we're not half. No. Okay, so my turn, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we both know with the Avengers that Iron Man is a prime member, with having Doctor Doom as one of his antagonist villains, right? But do you know there was a time where Doctor Doom took over the mantle as Iron Man? What is the name of that series?
Doom 2099.
Doom Quest.
I like the Doom Quest one. It sounds like Thanos Quest. No, it's actually the infamous Iron Man.
Interesting.
He took over after Civil War II. And after Civil War II, he basically was like the Sorcerer Supreme of Iron Man. So he had the mech suit, a whole Iron Man suit. It was green and it was basically, it looked like Doom, but a lot sleeker.
Wow.
But he also had the what do you call it? Supreme powers too.
Right on.
Cool. Sounds like cool series. Okay. Now, since we are going over the Avengers Defenders War, we're gonna move from Madam Web and go on to the Defenders. Do you know the cover price for what was the cover price for Defenders number 1?
25 cents.
30 cents.
Both close, but the cover price for Defenders number 1 was 20 cents. So
if you just minus 10 off mine, I would have got it right.
If you minus 5 off,
5 off.
Yours don't count.
Often, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so
round 2.
So for the price of 2 dimes, do you know? Now Hulk and Thor have fought many times. This storyline being one of them. But do you know the first issue that Hulk and Thor ever fought?
Oh my God, it's the one issue that Hulk actually appeared in the Avengers.
I'm gonna say Thor 112.
114. Or no, Avengers 114.
Jamie, once again, title correct, issue number wrong. The first issue that Hulk and Thor ever fought was the Avengers number 3.
Okay, because one of my do you know questions, I don't know, I'm gonna wait till the end and I'll say what I was gonna say because I don't know if Sonny's got it as his and I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, so Avengers number 3, third issue in the iconic Avengers storyline.
I'm
Hulk
shooting
and Thor
so well
fought
at knowing which one it is, but not knowing the freaking number.
The issue number.
All right,
Jamie, go for it.
Okay, so we all know the Defenders, obviously. We all know that there was a TV series based on the Defenders through Netflix. But guys, do you know what phase that Defenders show took place in?
What phase? Oh, okay.
What phase of the MCU? What phase of the MCU?
3.
I'm gonna say 3.
Well, you are wrong. It was the end of phase 1.
Oh, the end of phase. Okay.
You know, you're right. Darn it, because all of that takes place.
I need to watch more TV.
Shortly after the invasion.
Right.
Okay.
Crud.
Oh, crud. All right. So
Shock.
I think I have one. Jamie, if we were doing halves, you would have tied me with both your halves.
Yeah. But Sonny, you're the only one on the board right now.
So here you go.
So.
You guys can tie me. I almost gave the answer.
He almost just says it out loud. I'm like, okay, here's the question. And Ant-Man.
Okay. The question is, we know the Defenders. We pretty much all know who the original 4 was. Who was the 5th member of the Defenders?
The 5th?
Hawkeye. No. Yeah, Hawkeye.
5th. I don't know if because I think it was Hawkeye. And I don't want to take it off Tim. So Tim's probably gonna get a point here.
Go for it.
No, I'm gonna say it was Wasp.
The 5th member was Valkyrie.
Good.
I believe Hawkeye was like number 6.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Valkyrie was the 5th member, and she joined in Defenders number 4, February 1973.
Sonny, 1 is the loneliest number.
It's lonely at the top.
Yeah. I think I kind of phased out there for a minute. So
yeah, 1 is the loneliest number, Sonny. And yes.
I am not that.
1 point out of that whole thing.
We had some good questions because Tim's always, now I know. Like I'm just gonna start looking at first appearances.
Now I'm gonna change all
those
my
numbers, and because
dude, I knew every single one that came out, and it was just like
titles are too easy. You gotta dig a little deeper and get issue numbers. I give you the year after you get the answer wrong.
Well, guys,
for a half
point,
point,
it was in the books.
Well, hey, real fast. That's what I was talking about.
Thank you, Jamie, for being my good luck charm.
You're welcome. I love you too, honey.
Oh my God.
But my point was that Hulk really only appeared in 1 issue for the longest time, and that was the issue that he appeared in. He wasn't a prominent Avengers character for the longest time.
Well, he was on the cover of issue 1.
Yeah.
Right.
But he didn't. He wasn't really like a signature player of the Avengers. He'd show up for 1 or 2 issues every now and then, and after that, nothing.
They'd argue, and he'd beat the crap out of somebody and jump away.
Right.
Well, guys, now we have it. We went to war, and do you know? And now it's time we review the Avengers Defenders War. And I got it right here. And just so you know, Tim, your question about when they first fought, I know it's in the book, and I was like, I'm not. I literally could have turned to a page and got it, but
yeah, you could have seen Sonny just do this.
Yeah. I think that's in page. I think the first time they fought was.
He can give you the page number and panel. That's how good he is.
Uh-oh.
Roy Thomas
Tim,
tells us.
It says nobody else who read Journey into Mystery 112.
Ooh,
But okay.
that is incorrect.
Book
Do you want me to go over the credits for this real quick before you dive into reviews?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think you're starting this one off.
Okay. All right. So Avengers Defenders War. Avengers issues number 115 through 118 and Defenders numbers 8 through 11. So the credits for this go as follows. For the Avengers issues, that would be writer is Steve Englehart, artist is Bob Brown, inks go to Mike Esposito, colors go to S. Goldberg, and letters go to Gene Izzo. And for Defenders, numbers 8 through 11, writing again goes to Steve Englehart, artwork goes to the immortal Sal Buscema, inks to Frank McLaughlin, colors to P. Goldberg, and letters are Charlotte Jeter. Now, as far as the story goes, it starts off in Avengers. Let's see here. So the gist of it is like Black Knight has been turned to stone, and Stephen Strange has taken him into the Sanctum Sanctorum to try and figure out exactly why that is. And he's got his defenders, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, the Swordsman, which was a pleasant surprise for me, and Mantis are all part of the Avengers. And one thing leads to another, and they figure out that the Black Knight is at the Sanctum Sanctorum. Dormammu is trying to influence things. Loki is blind, and it turns into a race to find the evil eye, which Dormammu says is the only way to bring the Black Knight back from being set in stone. Cue the Avengers racing to go get it, and the Defenders racing to go get it at the same time. Battles ensue. Silver Surfer fights the Vision and Scarlet Witch, which was a great battle. Hulk fights Thor. Captain America fights against who does he fight against? Yeah, Namor. That's right. Yep, that was also good. And Sunfire makes an appearance there. Valkyrie against the Swordsman. Hawkeye against Iron Man, which Hawkeye was chomping at the bit for. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's good. So beyond that, I mean, like it's all self-contained issues with a larger storyline that covers everything. We've said this before a million times. These type of issues back then wanted to give you as much information, action, and drama as possible in 28 pages.
My head hurt.
But with that being said, I think Sal Buscema's artwork is the standout here. I did not personally care for his work in Spectacular Spider-Man, but here in the Defenders, that was my favorite. Bob Brown's work on Avengers was okay to me, but Buscema's work gets a better grade because his work was so much better. Like I said, they're self-contained issues. It felt like a weekly serial, very dramatic, action-packed, and absolutely...
I thought you meant like the food for a second. I was like, Crunchberry or...
No, like those radio programs they used to have.
Yeah, I know.
Way back in the day. So everything is contained.
Me and Jamie don't remember those radio shows, Tim.
I do. I remember when air was.
Come on, it was Hi Ho Silver away, and then come back for the next Avengers.
Everything is contained in each issue. It's very well paced, but also a very long read. This took me the whole day to do. I couldn't do it all in one right after the other. That was just too much. My brain would have melted.
It hurts.
But over the course of the day, it read really well, and it was paced out really well. Solid storytelling, solid artwork, great story from start to finish, and an awesome addition to Avengers/Defenders history. So as far as grades go for the Avengers issue specifically, overall grade for that gets a 7.25 out of 10. Weird number, I know. And Defenders,
hey, that's what we do.
Yep, Defenders issues overall I thought were a little bit better, and they get a 7.75 out of 10 for me, for an overall score for the entire storyline of a 7.5.
he did that for a reason.
Yeah.
He does 2.5 and 0.75 just so he could be like, oh, I'm cool. And then I'm not.
I'm super awesome. Yeah. So 7.5 out of 10 overall. It was a great read. Awesome read. Not something I think I would read again right away, but it was good to read and know.
Oh, well,
Amy, how about you?
Going into this, Tim and Ray kind of alluded to, there's a lot of there's some positives for me in this. I really did enjoy the versus issues where everyone kind of got the same amount of page time or page count. You don't really see that too often. Now it's like whoever the big hitter is, you're going to have for 10 of the pages, and then the other 10 is a mix of whoever is going up against each other. But in this, everyone felt kind of fair to who was fighting who at that time. I really enjoyed that aspect. One thing I did not care for was the plot. It's and not saying the whole thing, saying at the beginning with like Loki and Dormammu, and it's like Loki felt like he was just interjected there just to be there. I didn't feel like he felt like a little kid telling on his older sibling at one point.
He was just a plot device.
Yeah.
Like it was Dormammu, like I said, kind of there.
And then you got Loki running and he can't see, so I don't know how he's getting there. To Doctor Strange and being like, Dormammu did it, and we don't really know what's going on. I mean, we do, but at the same time, it's like I could have dealt without that. I could have dealt with something that was like, hey, it was just Dormammu the entire time being Dormammu. Like you could have gone with that and I would have been fine. You used Loki as, like you said, the plot device, and it wasn't a good choice to me. Overall, I thought the art was great to me, especially for that time frame. I don't know. It just brought back that, like, I do love that old fighting art style, especially like with Tim's background, like the Hulk versus Thor and all that. I can look at that all day. As for the words,
I have it too.
Even in the page itself, the editor, Roy Thomas, he's like, you can use this as a pinup if you want to, but go buy another issue so you don't destroy the only thing you have. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought the story was good. It wasn't something that was not like, I can equivalent it to, like, when you see a movie, it's a good popcorn flick. It's good to see once and then be done with. And then if you want to revisit it later, you can, but you probably not. This is what this was for me. I thought it was a good read. I thought it was a great introduction to a world that I don't know. But overall, I'm going to give Avengers Defenders War a solid 7. I think that was fair enough for me, coming from me for this one. I hate narration, and half this book felt like it was. I literally reread one issue without the narration, and it read the same.
This was this was a novel to read.
Yes. It felt like reading a Sonny Kruger novel at one point. I think that's why I liked it.
Well,
getting a 10
I hope we rate my stuff more than a 7, but Avengers Defenders is fine. I didn't write it, so. But yeah, like I said, 7 is still good. 7.5 is still good. For me, I would say that, Jamie, I agree with you. Like how you said at the beginning, I was kind of like, whatever. And I think everyone is pretty much in agreement that the versus parts were definitely the best parts of it.
The highlight.
Yeah, without a doubt, the highlight, because like I said, when we knew it was back in the 70s, and it was like a lot of times, oh my gosh, we're seeing these characters. We're seeing the Avengers fight the Defenders. Like I said, we're seeing Hulk fight Thor, Captain America fight Namor. All these great battles. But then,
I did have one more note when you're done.
Sure. Okay, sure.
So when you're done with that,
I'll let you do it.
Okay, so we were talking about the fighting aspect. The one thing that made a memory that came back to me while I was reading this was the verses from DC and Marvel when they were pinning up the characters against each other. And I felt like they took that whole inspiration right there and went, put this in this book. Because it literally looked verbatim to me like, okay, now we got like Jubilee versus Robin. And it's like, I kind of see how that translated later on. You know what I mean? Like, that's one cool thing I picked out of it. Sorry, I had that in my note and I forgot to say it.
No problem. Yeah, like I said, like the Superman, Hulk. I read Marvel versus DC, years before this, but like I said, like seeing Thor and Hulk, like I said, was okay again like that. But the two heavy hitters, it's super strength, and so like I said, the artwork, the battles were the best thing, without a doubt. And then, because even too, when I went over it again, because obviously I read the whole thing before, and I was like, okay, now I can kind of go through it and when you're not reading so much of it, I think it's almost even better because when you're looking through, it is fun to revisit when you're seeing like the battles again in the fights,
Mhm.
but then you kind of get towards also like the beginning a little like not this incredible story, and then later when it's like it's kind of settled and the teams are now working together, and then also to what were they, like the gremlins or the gnomes? This huge
Oh,
thing,
I
so
know
they're
exactly.
trying
Yeah,
to,
yeah. They're like underneath the ground, and they're like, what was
yes,
it? They're dragging Captain America one or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
the
they're puncturing
troglodytes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yes,
the
Yeah.
troglodytes.
yeah, they. I was like, okay, that does bring it a little down because you just had these incredible fights with some of the best characters in Marvel history.
Now you got
Or
some
are you-
Oompa Loompas coming
or
out
like-
of the ground trying to.
Yes, been punching Hulk and doing all this.
Are you
Yeah,
talking about at the last issue?
the last issue? Yeah,
For the oh, those were like the gnomes or whatever.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
the gnomes. So for me, that's something. Oh, I was, you want a big ending when you're reading a big story arc, especially one like this. You have the Avengers fighting the Defenders. You want something big, and I felt the ending was a letdown compared to what we had before.
I
I
agree
do-
with you on that, Sonny.
Yeah.
I think if they would have scrapped that issue of Defenders and just ended it on the Avengers issue, that would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah, because the battle with Dormammu is fine. Like, so, he's one of the most powerful villains in Marvel, so that would have been a better ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we had to see Black Knight get healed from his stone stage, but I was like, yeah, it didn't seem like a big ending to me.
No.
But
Right.
I do enjoy, like I said, obviously this is one of the biggest events in the 70s for comic books. We got to see some great fighting, and like I said, there was a lot of talking. So for me, I give the Avengers Defenders War an 8.2. So we got
Okay.
Still in the
8.2
eights
for
though.
me, 8.2 for me, 7.0 for Jamie, and 7.5 for Tim.
That's right. Yeah. Solid ratings all around.
Stupid 7.25s. Who does that? Us.
I don't
That's it.
like doing the 8.65s or 8.72s or whatever. I
We
like
didn't-
mine
we've
in
never done
quarters,
that.
halves, and wholes.
We've
Well, I
literally
changed my
done.
rating. Mine's 8.2555.
Yeah. Repeating. For the whole
8.3.1.6.
There you go. The Avengers
98.3.
0.25. So we have the Avengers Defenders Wars in the books. And now, Tim, what is your next pick for us to review?
So, my choice for comic to review next week, we are going to come out of the 70s and go into an indie explosion in the 90s and go with XO Manowar #1 from Valiant Comics.
Okay. So, X-Men. We'll
I'll
make
be
sure
excited
to
for that.
put the message. Yeah. So, I'm interested to check that out. I don't know much about the character at all. So, I look forward to meeting this new character, and hopefully they're cool. And
So
hopefully
that
they
means
fight
Sonny's
somebody
giving it a
like,
10 out of 10.
10 out of
Maybe.
10. It's amazing. Fantastic. Wonderful.
if Hassan Hussein is in there, then you can expect that 10 out of 10.
He is
Oh, yes.
definitely not, which automatically.
We ain't reading
makes
it.
the
Your
book
pick.
a
You
10.
give up your pick.
Oh,
You
we're
forfeit
doing,
your pick for
we're
the
doing
week.
Young Blood #1 now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just the backside.
0 out of 10. -5 out of 10.
I give it a 7.25 out of 10 just for
Better
giggles
be a good reason why.
because it makes you mad.
Oh
That's
my
all we
God.
need.
Maybe we'll have to get to that one someday. And
Oh,
Kassan,
what my next
Hassam,
pick
whatever his
is.
name is, Kassam, whatever his name is in the book, he can get his own rating just for him alone in the book.
if you, Jamie, for the sake of argument, you choose Young Blood #1, I'm gonna grit my teeth through the whole Decoding Panels episode of that. Like I'm gonna hate every minute of it.
We no, you're not. You're gonna do it with the enthusiasm. The same enthusiasm that you did Punisher Circle of Blood with.
But I had fun with that. With Young Blood #1, I'll just be pulling the hairs out of my beard.
Hey, you could argue with your neighbors and be like, I'm playing Kassam Hussein.
You have no idea.
They're going to call the police and say, excuse me, I think we have a terrorist next door. Something about my name is Hassam Hussein.
No, it's exactly. No, it's make believe, gentlemen. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. See,
We're chalking it up to that.
And with that, I say we can call it an episode 34 in the books, unless there's anything else you guys want to say before we go.
As usual, guys, be kind to one another because Tim can't figure out how to say that without me being here.
No, I don't know your words.
Yeah, follow, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the content of our new revamped show starting on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, guys, much love. Thank you too for taking care of last week's episode when I was out. And
Pleasure.
see you guys
Pleasure.
in the next one.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on all the social medias. That is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right here on Twitch, over there on YouTube, and anywhere podcasts are popular. And that includes Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All you have to do is search for the Codex Podcast or Codex Podcast on any of those platforms or social media sites, and you'll find us lickety split. Once again, guys, my name is Tim. I am one of the co-hosts here at the Codex Podcast. This guy over here, the super awesome dude who loves Jared Leto, is Jamie, and down below, the immortal Sonny Kruger. You guys have a wonderful night.
Take care and beware of Hussam Hussein.